Welcome to Know Your Mobile. I'm Basil. I'm here with the Asus Padfone. I've also got a Sony Xperia Z and Xperia Tablet Z, and I'm here to basically compare the three, and figure out whether the Padfone is a really viable option when compared to the two most premium Android devices out there. So you have the Xperia Z. It's a gorgeous phone, quad-core, 1.5 gigahertz. It's got oodles of RAM, everything you need to really have a premium experience, and the design is absolutely stunning. Jumping onto the tablet, and again, it is the most premium designed tablet out there, just 7.9 millimeters thin. It's truly an impressive feat of engineering. It's also weather resistant, waterproof, up to a depth of 1.5 meters for a full 30 minutes. That said, they are two devices, but how do they compare to Asus's Padfone 2? Now, this isn't the latest Padfone, oh no, but this is the one that you're going to be able to get your hands on around the same time you can get your hands on these two. It packs a HD display, that's 800 by 1280 on the tablet, and on the actual tablet you haven't really got any connectors as such, but it does pack a trick up its sleeve. If we flip it around, we can see you've actually got a quad-core phone in there. If we pull it out, we can show you the actual phone unit. Just put that to the side, and you've got that 720p display on the phone. It's a Snapdragon S4, again 1.5 gigahertz, so it's got the same core specs as the Xperia Tablet Z and indeed the Sony Xperia Z. But is one device or 1.5 devices better than two? Well, that's what we're here to help you find out. As far as the design goes, the Padfone really can't stand up to the likes of the Tablet Z. We've already extolled just how wonderful the Tablet Z feels in the hand. And indeed, the Sony Xperia Z feels more premium than the Padfone. It is glass front and back, so it does feel slightly delicate, but the weather resistance really does put our minds at ease a little bit. We haven't heard of anyone dropping it just yet, breaking the front and back, and we don't really know how repairable it is. But we're not put off by the glass front and back just yet. The Padfone is markedly more plastic, especially on the back. You have a spiral finish, and it does add a degree of grip to the Padfone. Ultimately, though, it isn't going to be as premium. There's a metal rim around the sides. As far as ports go, you've got a proprietary charger, which is a bit irksome, while the Pad does charge via micro USB. We're not huge fans of proprietary chargers, none of which the Xperia Tablet Z or the Xperia Z, sorry, have. That 4.7-inch 720p display looks great, and it's a Super IPS Plus panel. We can activate outdoor mode, turn off auto brightness, and make everything just look that little bit brighter in this lighting, and you can see it really does perform well. The 441 ppi, that's pixels per inch, on the Xperia Z, however, win out every single time. Buttons and ports include a power button and a volume rocker on the right. Up top's a 3.5mm headphone jack and a micro SIM eject tray. On the reverse is actually a Sony-made 13-megapixel sensor. You've also got a flash and a loudspeaker. So putting the Padfone down and taking a look at the Sony Xperia Z, as we said, it's water resistant. It's also dust resistant as well. You've got a dock connector and a micro SD card slot on the left side. On the right side, there's also a micro USB port on the left side. On the right side is a micro SIM eject tray. Underneath that dock, and a power button. Now, this power button is beautifully positioned, considerably better than on any other phone out there. It sits perfectly where your middle finger lies in your left hand and where your thumb lies in your right hand. You've also got that volume rocker. Down below, no buttons at all. 3.5mm jack under a flap up top, and a 13-megapixel Sony Xperia RS sensor on the reverse. What makes this camera really stand out is the user interface. It will come on to a little bit later. Now, the phone's available in a range of colours. We've got the purple one here. It's available in black and white as well. Moving on to the tablet portion, and you can see, as we said, that gorgeous 7.9mm thinness. You've also got all your ports underneath flaps, and that includes a 3.5mm jack on the left. Down below is a micro SD and a micro SIM card slot. This thing will pack LTE functionality, which is really sweet. You've got stereo speakers at the bottom. Those stereo speakers actually have 4 speaker units, so you're going to get a really nice rounded 3D sound. You've also got a power button and a volume rocker on the left-hand side, and an IR blaster up top. Yet it is a remote control as well. Flipping the tablet round, 8-megapixel Sony Xperia RS sensor, NFC point, Xperia logo, and a gorgeous matte backing. This tablet is considerably lighter and feels fantastic in the hand. On the front, you've got a full HD display, making for an ultimately premium experience throughout both the phone and the tablet, and a lot more pixels per inch than on the Asus Padfone. The Asus Padfone screen, however, as we said, is Super IPS Plus, looking perfectly respectable. Can't stand up to Sony's Mobile Bravia Engine 2. As far as the user interface of both devices go, let's just redock the Padfone, and we can take a look at this very, very stock version of Android. So Android purists out there might actually prefer what Asus offer. It's got a few customizations in terms of quick settings, and the same can be said for phone. Pre-installed applications and widgets. However, it is not going to be as thought through as what Sony have done in terms of their UI. If you long press the home screen, for example, you can actually swap out your themes. These themes are really tightly integrated into the whole experience. If we tap through on a theme, we can see it doesn't just change the background wallpaper, it also changes the highlights of your widgets. And if we lock the phone, unlocking the phone reveals this gorgeous, gorgeous wallpaper that's wholly complementary to the theme in general. So what that means, again, as we said, it's a much more thought-through user interface experience. They both, the Padfone, packs Android 4.0, not even 4.1, and it's 4.1 on the Sony Xperia Tablet Z and the Sony Xperia Z. Having said that, when the Padfone reaches market end of May, it may well pack the newer version of Android, Jelly Bean. As far as the cameras go, the 13 megapixel Sony sensor on the Padfone is good, but we did do some direct comparisons between the Padfone and the Padfone, and the Xperia Z, and the Xperia Z won out every time. The user interface of the Xperia Z is a real highlight. It's got this intelligent auto mode called Superior Auto, and it really does detect the scene for you perfectly well. Internals, you've got Snapdragon S4 processors in both, and they perform very comparably, so there's no real point of differentiation there. The only real thing is in terms of practicality. The Sony Xperia Z enables you to use 2 units, your phone and your tablet simultaneously, whereas the Padfone doesn't. Having said that, the Padfone does pack some key advantages. You only really have to have one set of game saves, for example. In addition, if you use a keyboard like SwiftKey, which saves your keystrokes, you only really have one set of keystrokes being saved. WhatsApp, being able to use apps like that on the tablet are really, really enjoyable. So ultimately, which is better for you is really up to you. You are going to be paying a lot more for the Sony experience. As we said, it is more premium. The phone costs quite a lot, £529 or thereabouts, if not more. And the tablet will be in that region as well. So you're looking at about £1,000 for both of these bits of kit, whereas Padfone comes in at £599. Ultimately, though, 2 processors, 2 lots of waterproof fantasticness, as opposed to 1 unit with a fantastic dose of convergence. This has been Basil at MWC 2013, comparing the Padfone 2 with the Sony Xperia Tablet Z and the Sony Xperia Z. We, as you can tell, love all 3 of these bits of kit. If you've got any questions about them, please feel free to fire us a comment in the comments section below. If you've enjoyed this video, click subscribe, and if you enjoyed this channel, just click like. Subscribe, got that the wrong way around. You get the idea. Just like us and subscribe to us. Thank you.